Hello everyone. Today we got a few things that we're going to be covering. One of the things that we'll be doing is a new project I've been working on that's going to be doing some knurling on the mill. As you know, the lathe that I have that's borrowed from a friend, it's not in the best condition, but it still works for some things. When I started looking at what a knurl tool would cost, they were quite expensive even on the cheaper end, and I had some scrap steel laying around that I could make these two units out of. And then I bought these little knurl units, so they're cheapies. I think they were about $12.50 a piece. And I already did Instagram and showed some of the knurl finishes that I was getting off of there, using it right on the mill. For some of you guys who have a mill but don't have a lathe and you would like to knurl, this is a nice alternative. And the reason I got into this is many of you know I'm training my children machining. And here's I believe it's a little homemade tap wrench that I got when I first got into the trade, when I bought some tools from someone who retired. But I love this little tap handle. I use it all the time. And it's not going to be a hard one to make, and I thought we would show the children how to make these. And but as you can see, this one's been so well used that the knurl is actually worn down on here real good, but that's the reason why I wanted to show the kids how to knurl, and I figured I'd do it right here on the mill, and was they make their own tap handles, we can put a real nice knurl knob, and I'll probably make me a new one to fit this. After we show the knurling here a little bit, and then what we'll do is another little project you might be interested in a little bit later. We'll show you on the lathe that we have. We'll show you how you can turn carbide using diamond inserts on there. Got a little project going there too. So anyways, I'm going to turn on the generator in a minute and show you how this goes. But like I say, I just made these two pieces that would hold the knurl tools. What's nice about this, I can indicate, instead of 0, 0 here, I can get my exact center. I can put blocks in between the knurls to get the perfect knurl every time. And right now I'm just playing around with it. I haven't got everything ironed out with it yet, but I just thought I'd show this if there's others out there that might be interested in doing something like this. So we'll get the generator turned on. Now everything's not perfect on this yet. I still got I'm just bolting all these units on this cube. I'll have a unit eventually that's set up, that's all contained. It's adjustable for different sizes. And right now lining everything up just perfect on the knurl. You see it's a little light on the top side there, but we'll show you how well it works right now just in the trial stage. And just remember, this is just a concept that was just thought up just shortly. I don't even have any drawings for it. Someone on Instagram was wanting to know if I'd make some design plans for it available, and I'll probably do that shortly. Well, I shouldn't shortly, in the near future. Right now, it's just an idea that was in the mind, and we got it from there. But to this point, and it was kind of a fun little project, something nice to show the kids. But you can just use your power down feed on the mill. And give it a little oil. I might have to wind it in just a little more. I'm still playing with it, but we'll see what it looks like. Gonna hit with air a little bit. And there, it's a real light knurl is what I have. So what I'll do is I'll get that caught back into the knurl, and I'll hit it a little bit heavier. I have it set for 6 thousandths per revolution. Going down, we're running at, I think about 100 RPMs, maybe somewhere in that range. But you can see that it definitely has a heavier knurl on it. And I got this set up so that I can get real close to the center like a scissors type knurl tool, so that I don't have a lot of that push off pressure on there. Oops. Air holes. And now you can see you got a real nice deep knurl on that. It actually works pretty good. This is A2. It's a boring bar stock that we've been using. And like I say, this is only about the 4th time that I knurled with it. And been getting some real nice knurls with it. Here, as I was moving in and out at the beginning, it's a little rough, but like I say, it's in a prototype stage. A few bugs to work out. But I think I'll make it so that you have a nice adjustability on one of these to be stationary, one you'll be able to adjust. And this unit right here, I think I'll be able to go up to, let me check with the scale again. Yeah, I think I'd be able to do about a 5-inch diameter with this. There's all kinds of different style knurls, tools out there. You got some of the angled ones that cut even nicer. This will be something that I'll probably be modifying. I just wanted to try with these real cheap knurls right at first. Try to get something working on it, see how it works, but it'll be an interesting project and we'll keep you posted. So right now, let's go over to the lathe, and we're pretty set up on there, but we got a 3/8 carbide bar, and I'm going to have to cut about a 45-degree angle I want to rough on that, and we'll go over there and we'll show you how we'll do that using a diamond wheel or a diamond insert. We're making some boring bars out of A2 tool steel, and one of the things I can do is I can take the heads, I can cut them off, and then I can silver solder to a carbide shank and then have a steel shank one. And what we'll do is I'm going to make a few of these for some friends and for ourselves. But here's one for a 1/2 inch. I'll have to pocket. What we did, we made the head, and we'll have to pocket this with a 45-degree angle, and then on the carbide I'm going to have to put a 45-degree angle. This one I turned a long time ago at my full-time job on a CNC lathe. What I'm going to do over here, I got a 3/8 bar set up, and I'm going to rough that angle in, and then I'll use a diamond wheel on the surface grinder to grind it up real nice. But the insert that I'm using is going to be a Sumitomo. It's a TPG 323, and it's a DA90. And it's a diamond that has a 3/64 radius on there. I'll be running at about 800 RPMs. You want to run at about 75 to 100 surface foot. You want to take light cuts. One of the problems you have with carbide, when you start cutting, if you're not careful, it will start chipping out on you. So if you do think this is going to be perfect for an application you have, just keep in mind the potential of it chipping the carbide in chunks a little bit is high as well. So anyhow, it's preset, and we'll get started here. Adam can get a close-up on that, I'll probably bring it by the granite pretty quick. It leaves a really nice finish on there. If you take light cuts, take it nice and easy, you can actually do a real nice job. They work really nice on the CNC lathe, where you can control the feed rate, control the RPMs, have a constant surface foot or surface feed on it, because the inserts, they can chip out easy. Your carbide can chip out easy. And if you're cutting something, say if you had something like this that you're cutting with carbide, and or with your diamond, and this was carbide and you're cutting, if you cut all the way across, what's going to happen, you will almost all the time big chips will come off the back. As this carbide starts getting thin on your cut, that last little bit, it's weak, and instead of cut, it will chip. So one of the things that you want to do with that, you want to cut, probably cut in and radius out if you have a CNC, and then flip your part around and do the same thing to get the diameter that you want, and then that way you can control the cracking of the carbide. So with a few little tips and tricks, this is a very fast, efficient way of removing carbide. I'll be setting this up on the grinder, grinding the size in that I need just to get it a lot better yet, because this lathe, it's not perfect. I just eyeballed it at a 45 degree. I want everything else to come in real good. Well, let's go to the granite table. We'll give you an update on some of the boring bars we've been making, and we'll see if we can get a close-up picture that Adam can have on this, show the nice finish we have here as well. We got some better light over here, but this is that 3/8 carbide bar that I was just cutting right here, and I got the angle on. I usually do both sides. I done on Instagram, I done this side. That way I'll have, if I'm cutting it, I'll have one side prepped. I will not put two heads on this. What will happen, I'll just put one of the heads on one side, and if it does break off and then I got a side that's already prepped, I can put one in on that side. Sometimes you have accidents with them, and you know, you'll break the tip off. This is an almost finished low profile sign plate. I don't have the pins made yet. I got to do a little work on this one. But for the Bar Z Summer Bash 2018, we have one of these already shipped to Stan, and he'll be able to use that as a prize for one of his raffles or whatever he chooses to do with it over there. But the one we sent, it has laser engraved on the side. It's got solid rock machine shop on one side, and on the other side it's got Bar Z Summer Bash 2018. The one I sent him, I spent a lot of time grinding that, getting it just right. It's really a nice tool. Someone's going to end up with a very high precision tool for their box there. Also, we sent Stan a set of these bars for himself, and then we sent 4 1/2-inch and 4 3/8, and we have a nice laser engraved on them. It's got a little mountain scene, and it's got solid rock machine shop. These are made out of A2. They've been heat treated to about 50 Rockwell and black oxided. The engraving is a friend of mine that I've met on Instagram, Eric Rogers, and I'll put a link to his site. You can actually, he'll show you with some of the videos and stuff, he'll show you the actual laser etching as it's taking place on there. But Eric's a super nice guy. He did an awesome job on these. That was a real big help. And so check out his Instagram page. He's got a lot of other stuff other than lasers. He's got some CNC equipment on there. He's just got all kinds of neat stuff. But that's a page you definitely want to check out. So anyhow, we got 3/8 bars and 1/2-inch, and all the 1/2-inch bars, they turned out pretty good. Our first batch, we made 100. There's almost 50 of each. The 1/2-inches went good, but when we started assembling some of our 3/8, I noticed that the pockets weren't fitting quite right, and so there's just a hairline of light on some of them that I can see where it's not seating in the pocket all the way on the bottom. So What I'm going to have to do with most of these, I'm going to have to set them up. I'm going to make a fixture I can use within the fixture I already built where I can line these up. And we just got to come in there and we got to touch off. Hang on just a second here. Let me find my pointer. This little scribe tool I got from Randy Richards, I love it. It works good when I'm showing the kids and stuff, different details. This actually works great as a scriber, but it actually works really nice as a pointer too. But anyhow, what we got to do is we're going to have to take on these 11-degree angled walls over here. I'm going to have to set these up, and we're going to have to take between 1 and 2 thousandths off there. And I'm just going to barely touch the bottom of the pocket because I don't want to change the depth much at all there. So we'll only touch it about 2/10. So what's going to happen on these bars, because they're already hardened, they're black oxided, the pockets will come out shiny, but they're going to be hard milled after all the distortions you would have in heat treat, even though it won't be that much on that little pocket. They're actually going to be a better product than what we had this had not taken place. They're a good product anyhow. I actually, on that lathe we have, which isn't a very rigid lathe, I even took one of these bars and put the insert in it, and even though I had a little light on there, it actually cut. What's happening, the insert's resting on the angle, the 11-degree angle part, and it's actually holding in there quite tight. So I know they would work, but we just don't want to send out a product that we're making that has our name on it that has a little slight defect like that. And so we're going to correct these on these bars. And the children, they're working on the second set of 100 or 200 bars, and we will be selling these in the future. We got a few people already contacting us and selling them, but we'll open it up a little bit more after the summer bash because we're going to be bringing a bunch of these there. The ones that are gifts at the summer bash will have our logo and the solid rock on one side, and on the other side they'll have Bar Z Summer Bash 2018. And they'll be the only bars, the one that Stan will get, and then the 4 that will be as giveaways will be the only one that will have the Bar Z Summer Bash 2018 on there. So those will be specials. And if we sent those out before I could check those, and what will happen is when we get there and if I inspect them, if that pocket is not quite right, what I'll do is whoever wins those as prizes, we'll take your address and your name. We'll take these back, we'll fix them up, and then we'll ship them to you. It won't cost you a thing, but like I say, they'll actually even be nicer than what we intended. It'll be something where the precision of the pockets will be a lot nicer, a lot tighter. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at on the boring bars here. We found out what caused the problem here. When you're using a standard end mill, like an 1/8 inch end mill, that's a straight wall, and you're cutting the pocket out and stuff like that, and you swap to another 1/8 inch end mill, the quality on them things are made real good and tight. And so you can swap one end mill after another, and the numbers that you wind to your digital, they'll work out good. And so with the tapered end mill that we done so many pockets, it was getting slight wear on there. And because I'm holding these pockets tight, what I do is the screw on the tap hole, I pull it back a little bit so that when you tighten down on that screw, it pulls that insert in tight to the pocket. And so as that end mill wore down just a little bit over there, I had it a little bit too tight, and it just caused the insert where it wouldn't seat as well as I want on the bottom. So anyhow, we'll take care of that. And I just want to thank Stan at Bar Z for putting on the summer bash. I'll be going, Adam, and my daughters Kathy and Rachel, and this will be the first time that we have ever attended it. We've seen some of the videos. We just want to thank Stan and others who are putting this event on. We know it's a lot of work. We just thank you for doing that. And as we go to the event, we're going to drive from West Michigan all the way to Southern California. Hopefully we'll get out of this hot heat wave that we got going on over here in Michigan, getting some nice cool weather over there. But anyways, we're planning on doing some sightseeing on the way back. We're going to be driving instead of flying. The kids are wanting to see some of the sights on the way back, and so it'll be a fun trip. And for all the different people and the viewers and the subscribers that we have correspondence with, I've already talked to a number of you that will be there. We're kind of excited about meeting a lot of the people that we've been have been introduced to over YouTube and Instagram. So we'll see you there. It's just I think a week from Tuesday is when we'll start our trip. So it's right around the corner. Thanks for watching.